if you are new to my channel, if you're a recent subscriber, have only watched a few videos so far, there's still that chance that you think that I'm a guy who's trying to prevent hair loss or help you prevent hair loss. That's not what this channel is about. If that's all you're here for, go ahead and stop watching right away. Unsubscribe, never watch another video. Anytime you're watching someone else's channel about hair loss and you see you may like in the suggested comments, don't click on one of my videos, because I'm not here to help you prevent hair loss. I'm here to help people psychologically overcome that on their journey towards what I'm calling skilled behavior. And I've made videos about unskilled behavior to help you recognize what skilled behavior looks like. It looks like Nick Shell, a guy who's not worried about hair loss, who is going to be the same confident person with or without hair. Okay, here's what we want to talk about right now. I want to talk about the concept of expecting change and accepting change. Those are very similar sounding words, aren't they? Expecting and accepting. But we need to talk about that. Why is it that certain people like me are not worried about going bald? People want me to be worried. People want me to be less secure in myself in the same way they're insecure. They want that constantly in the comment section. That's what the thumbs down are for. They're like, man, I want Nick to be is caught up and torn apart by hair loss as I am, but yet he refuses, and that bothers me. That's what people say that do the thumbs down, the third of the people. And I keep reminding everyone, this is a study not so much about hair loss, but the study of people who are bothered by hair loss. That's ultimately one of the main things my channel is about. We're studying the people who can't deal with it, while the majority of us who can find happiness in misery are able to overcome it. And we look at the people, we learn from bad examples, people who thumbs down the videos and hurl insults at me all day. Those people who show up in every video, we're learning, well, what are they doing wrong? Because I don't want to be like them. I want to be like Nick Shell, who has the life experience, the confidence, and the skilled behavior to deal with hair loss. Okay? So, what we're focusing on in this particular video is accepting and expecting change. I want to tell you a story about me if you don't know this already. When I was, 19, 20, I started noticing my hairline going up. And there for maybe a year, maybe at the most, in college, I thought, you know what? When I'm in my 30s and married and have 2 kids, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to have the receding hairline. I'm just going to get a hair transplant. So for a year of my life, I thought, okay, well, that's my plan to deal with it when it comes. But that's so not what I want. I would not take a free hair transplant. It would have to be so much money that someone would even pay me to get one, because it's not what I wanted. It'd be an attack on my identity. I have no interest in trying to save my hair. I want to age with grace and wisdom. And I find confidence in not having to succumb to paying someone money to buy confidence. That's not part of my identity. But ultimately, I think part of what helped me, and I've made videos about this before, if you had a dad who was a positive influence in your life and was losing his hair, and you grew up seeing that, chances are you're going to be less bothered by hair loss, because not only did you have a positive relationship with your father, but also you saw a positive male role model in your life who was one of the most important people going through that, and it just didn't seem like a big deal to you. So for me, even as a kid, I thought, okay, yeah, when I'm in my 30s, I'm going to be losing my hair. That's what happens. That's what's normal. So it was established for me as a child, this is what happens. Part of growing up, becoming a man, part of masculinity is that you lose your hair. That was something I always accepted. I always accepted that, and I expected that to happen. Now granted, there was that 1 year in college where I kind of went the other way on that. But I think too, it had to do with unskilled behavior. I was getting to a point where I was, like a lot of guys in the early 20s, maybe putting too much emphasis on my physical looks and not instead humor, education, kindness, and all the things that we're actually judged on as men. But other than that one phase in my life that didn't last very long, I always expected this change, and I accepted this change. Some people are struggling with that. Some people don't want to lose their hair so badly that it is definitely an attack on who they are. It's like they're dying on the inside watching my channel because they're secretly hoping that somehow their hair loss is going to reverse, or that one day I'm finally gonna make a video where I'm like, oh yeah, hey guys, I knew all along, here's how you prevent hair loss. This is why you subscribe, right? Well, here's how you prevent your hair loss and stop it. Because those people are not accepting of the change and they're not expecting change. Imagine how much more power you have over your own life if you are expecting to go bald and you accept that as part of your identity, and knowing that you're not greater if you have more hair. If anything, you have an advantage if you do lose your hair earlier in life, because you learn to depend on the things that actually matter and the things that people actually judge you on. I am always expecting change in life. I do not, and that goes back to emotional intelligence. People who are emotionally intelligent like me are always expecting change. We don't get caught up in, well, this is the way it's always been, so this is my comfort zone. For Nick Shell, there's no comfort zone. The only comfort I have, and you've heard this before, the only constant in life is constant change. Or I guess it's said different ways. But ultimately, that's the only thing consistent in life, is that things are always going to be changing. Almost like the Wallflowers song, the only difference is that you're exactly the same as you used to be. It's kind of like one of those paradoxes, really. That imagine how much more power you have over your own life if you're always expecting change to happen. By default, it's easier to accept the change that you are expecting. But the opposite of me, unskilled behavior, people who thumbs down my videos and hate me very much, they're the opposite of me. Because they're not expecting that change to happen to them, and they're also having some great issues accepting the change as well. I'm Nick Shell, and I know so much more than most people do about the psychology of hair loss. Oh, what's that? You want to prevent your hair loss? Can't help you, buddy. Want to overcome it psychologically and have skilled behavior like Nick Shell? Well, you keep watching the videos. Comments belong right here.